Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams.
Where we scream so you don't scream.
We're your host, Alex.
And Stephanie.
And this week we go to a billionaire's private island in Blink Twice.
Make sure you subscribe and click the bell to be notified when we post new episodes.
Before we get started, we just wanted to announce that we recently passed 100 subscribers, so we wanted to thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and support the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Blink Twice is a 2024 American psychological thriller film written and produced by Zoe Kravitz in her directorial debut. It tells the story of a group of people invited to the private island of a billionaire tech mogul as something strange happens with the attendees. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 75% with a critical consensus that states, "A bold and memorable debut that thrusts Zoe Kravitz into the turf of directors to watch, Blink Twice is a live wire of a film." It also has a 71% audience score.
Frida, an animal-themed nail artist and cocktail waitress, sneaks into an exclusive event with her friend Jess. They meet Slater King, a billionaire tech mogul who has recently resigned from his CEO position due to poor, unspecified behavior. Slater invites them to his private island for a getaway. Upon arrival, Frida and Jess, with several other female guests, find themselves in a luxurious setting alongside Slater's friends and business partners, including a photographer, a private chef, and a DJ. The atmosphere is lavish, with extravagant meals and unique gifts for the women, but tensions begin to rise as Frida feels a competitive edge over Slater with Sarah, one of the other female guests. Strange occurrences unfold during their stay, including odd interactions with a maid that refers to her as a red rabbit, and unsettling memories that start to blur. Frida and Jess begin to notice things that raise their suspicions about the true nature of their visit. As they try to navigate the complexities of this situation, they realize that not everything is as it seems on the island. As the story progresses, Frida finds herself drawn into a web of intrigue and danger, leading to unexpected discoveries about herself and those around her. The experience challenges her perceptions and forces her to confront a reality that is both shocking and transformative.
We are about to discuss major spoilers for the rest of the film. Please jump to 18 minutes and 2 seconds to avoid those 4-hour ratings.
Slater's therapist Rich visits and is surprised that Frida remembers that they met before at the gala. After a night of partying, Jess is bitten by a snake and expresses distrust of the situation, wanting to leave. Frida, feeling valued for the first time, convinces Jess to stay.
Wait a minute.
I got a problem with this.
Same here. Frida, Miss Thing.
Girl.
Your friend got bit by a snake and she's like, it's fine.
Yeah, no, let's do this for you, I guess. I don't know. This whole Frida and Slater thing, Frida's has a huge crush on Slater, I guess. I don't know. She seems obsessed with him in a way. So any time she can have with Slater, awesome. So she's on this island, so wonderful opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But Jess gets bitten by a snake and they're like, oh, it's venomous, but you won't die. And I'm like, I still don't believe you.
Yeah, it's yeah, maybe, but also I don't know you that well to take the chance.
I'd rather see a doctor.
Yeah.
Can I have a confirmation somehow?
Yeah, Frida's okay, yeah, you got bit by a snake, but I'm having fun. So
Yeah.
can you not make it about yourself?
Good time.
Yeah. Jess, how dare you?
Right. Yeah. I mean, just being the best of best friends, apparently being no, you're right. My snake bite's not that important.
You're right, I'm wrong, sorry.
The following morning, Frida discovers a cottage filled with identical red gift bags and encounters the maid again, who tricks her into drinking snake venom. This leads to disturbing flashbacks. As the men announce fishing plans, Frida notices Jess is missing, but the other women don't recall her at all. Sarah finds a lighter with Jess's name, and doubts arise about Jess's presence.
Another problem. Frida,
yes.
Sorry. Why are you drinking random highlighter-colored liquid?
Yeah. She just, the staff just one of the staff members, this maid that keeps calling her Red Rabbit, just is here you go. It's this bottle of, neon yellow liquid. And she's like, yeah, sure, I guess. And just takes a sip. And then she exposes that it was coming from a snake. And she freaks out. But why did you can't even speak the same language as this person.
I know, you don't know what that is. Don't get me wrong. I know the 2 comments I made about this woman so far have been negative. I do like Frida, but she makes some silly decisions.
Yeah, I feel you have to kind of suspend belief at this point because, already she's made, every, red flag decision, basically, and been yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
With going to an island with somebody that's been canceled for mysterious behavior or whatever.
receipts. I need your resume. What did you do? And then we'll
Right.
talk about it.
Right.
Although, if you gave me the chance to go to a private island, I might turn a blind eye. I might be like, "Hmm." Or maybe. Am I kidding? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Someone invite me to their private island and we'll see
Yeah,
how
then
I
we'll
react.
see. See what I'll allow.
Yeah. Depends on the day.
Oh, and the thing is too, they realize that Jess was there, or, some of them think that she wasn't there because they keep passing around this lighter that Jess has, and she shares it with everybody, but it's gotten to the point, like, days have blurred together where, like, she'll wake up in the morning and she'll be like, okay, who has my lighter? Like, she doesn't
Hmm.
even remember who she gave it to last. And to the point where they were all just like passing around a lighter, just a random community lighter, apparently, at this
Right.
point. And they were like, I don't know who Jess is, but it says Jess on here.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? Because she didn't have her name on there initially.
Hmm.
Thank God she did, because then there'd be just no proof. I feel
Right.
like the whole plot would have collapsed had she not
Yes.
put her name on this damn lighter.
Right. Right. Only Frida would remember, which is
Hmm.
weird too. Like, we'll get into it as it goes. But
Okay.
Frida and Sarah realize they have also experienced memory lapses and investigate the cottage. They find perfume made from an island flower that erases memories. Realizing that snake venom counteracts the perfume's effect, they convince the other women to drink it, restoring their memories. They soon uncover the horrifying truth: the women were brought to the island to be assaulted by the men every night, and the perfume makes them forget the trauma. It's crazy,
If that,
honestly. Yeah.
I did like the scene where they were taking shots of the venom, and Sarah and Frida were like, "Come on, ladies, more shots."
Right?
Oh, what's the one, the fat blunt one? What's her name? I feel
Her name,
terrible not
her name,
remembering her name. What
it
was her
was
name?
Camilla and Heather, I think.
Heather. Okay, I loved her so much. She talked like this all the time.
Yes, the whole time.
She was my favorite, but
Yes.
just doing shots the whole time.
It has, like, funny-ish moments too, because you see them just, like, kind of constantly partying, having these dinners, chilling out at the pool, and then at night, like, they're all wearing these, like, flowy white kind of toga-like dresses,
Hmm.
and they're all, like, running across the field, and at one point, they all stop, and they're like, "Why are we running?"
I was gonna point that out. And that was because that's before you know what's going on.
Mhm.
Like, oh, they're just having a great time. They're all
Yeah.
just very
You think they're high,
high.
like, really high all the time.
Right. No, I mean, maybe to an extent, they're still kind of high because they're being
Yeah.
influenced by this perfume.
Mhm. Yeah, that,
So,
like, the perfume was, like, all in their rooms, I guess, so they had been using it, or at
mhm,
least, Frida had, but
yeah,
I'm guessing everybody does.
yeah, must be.
Frida sneaks into Slater's office to retrieve their phones, but discovers they are inoperable. She uncovers evidence of Slater's heinous activities, revealing a pattern of inviting women for exploitation. As Frida's memories return, she recalls the brutal assaults and realizes Jess was killed because the snake venom prevented her memories from being erased. So, yeah, we finally get a glimpse of what's happening at night, and it is
Bad.
bad, bad, bad.
It's like real bad. Like, I don't even know if I could show clips.
No, you can't really. So, like, I'll just give, like, a brief description. Like, one of the guys, he's like some sort of dude there on like an internship or something like that. Like, he's complicit because he's not doing anything to help anybody, but he's also not like directly abusing people.
Hmm.
But he's just like crying in the corner because he doesn't like what's going on and everything, to the point where they start giving him perfume. They're like, you just ride this out, bud.
Right.
And then everybody else is like attacking women left and right. Like, one woman's tied up. Both Sarah and Frida are, being assaulted. It's terrible. And to the point where like Slater and the therapist are like standing over Frida, being like, and she'll never remember any of this. And he's like, nah, she'll go back to having the time of her life.
Hmm.
And won't remember a thing.
Yeah. I didn't mention, but at the beginning of the movie, there's like a trigger warning. And like up until the point where we kind of see what's happening, like the movie's vibe isn't like, it's just kind of like, ooh, a mystery's happening.
Yeah.
And then you see like what's actually going on, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal
Yes.
with and handle. So at this point in the movie, I feel is like when it kind of like really took a more serious turn. I don't know how you felt about that.
No, I agree. It's very drastic. I mean, I kind of had the inkling that something was happening because, the setup, the whole setup's a red flag.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
so I didn't think it was perfect, and then they just kept like they started losing days and stuff like that, which I just came back from vacation. I get that kind of like you don't know what day it is because you're not like on your normal work routine and stuff.
Hmm.
But for them to be like, I don't remember what day it is, when we're even going to leave, like it's just kind of like an open-ended trip for them, which is also odd.
Yeah. And they don't really realize they're forgetting the night
Yeah.
until like days after. Like, I feel like I'd wake up and be so paranoid that I couldn't remember what happened the night before. But again, they were doing a lot of drugs and stuff. So maybe they just wrote that off.
Right. Well, only until they start, like, at least with Frida and Sarah, at least when they get the venom, do they actually realize that, oh, like, I have bruises and stuff like that. And they said I fell out of a tree. And the one girl, Sarah, she was on a reality show for, like Survivor-ish.
Hmm. It was like
Um,
Survival Babes. She was
yes.
on it for like 8 seasons or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was, like, insulted that they'd say that she fell out of a tree. Like, there's no way I would have fell out of a tree.
Right. I'm under the influence. No way. Mm-mm.
Yes.
Even then.
I mean, if you know yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
That night, Frida and Sarah decide to maintain appearances while plotting their escape. During dinner, they distract the men with a provocative dance. As memories resurface in Camilla and Heather, they react violently, leading to a bloodbath. I really think that they should have tried to get them some info before they just let them go completely, revenge on them, because they just start.
Yeah. What they say, that those girls are a ticking time bomb because
Yeah.
when they start remembering because their nose starts bleeding.
Hmm.
And they were both like, Camilla was getting a drink or something, and then her nose starts bleeding, and she just starts like massacring people.
Yes.
And I feel like they couldn't give them any information prior to remembering because I don't think they'd believe it, or maybe they would. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
just
of
think it
hard.
was like timed out funny, or it worked out perfectly for like their plan, I guess. But Frida and Sarah seem to remember so quickly, like
Hmm.
flashes of it. So just surprising when they didn't like try to loop them in on it and be like, now let's all like attack together rather than just like, let's let you all do your own thing and get killed in the process.
I feel like the only thing I could think of is like, it's one of those situations, maybe the less who know, the better. So, because the more people you involve in a plot to do something, the more chance of it going haywire happens.
Yeah, I
I
guess so.
feel like they should have watched them and made sure, like, when they remember to, like, okay, now you remember, like, let's calm down
Let's
for a
work on
second.
this. Yeah.
I hate to use the phrase calm down, but you know what I mean? Like, just like
Right.
before we react, like, let's come up with a game plan. Like, let's kill these fuckers. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like, let's just not start
Totally want to
murdering.
do that. Like,
Right, like a more methodical way, because they just both start
yeah,
stabbing people, and
without
then
warning.
they're alerted, and then now it's the men like know what's going on, and I was like, oh man. I mean, I get it. I 100% get it, but I feel like Sarah and Frida should have watched them a little bit better.
Yeah, it kind of like leaves them hanging in a sense, like too, because they're, not part of the plan really. They're just
Hmm.
kind of like a distraction
Yeah.
that without knowing it. Frida faces off against Slater's assistant Stacy, whom they assume was trapped as well, but she didn't want to remember and ultimately kills her in self-defense. A chase ensues. Frida is captured by Slater and realizes that she'd been here before with different Red Rabbit nails and completely forgot about the island, as Sarah takes control of the situation by shooting some of Slater's friends. When he's not looking, Frida adds perfume to Slater's vape, who is caught off guard and knocked unconscious as the villa catches fire. Frida and Sarah manage to escape, leaving behind the chaos.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I did like the last act of this movie,
Hmm.
or like maybe not the full last act, but this very last scene. And I will say I was pretty surprised by the Red Rabbit
Hmm.
situation. I
Yeah.
thought she was saying Red Rabbit was like the bags, because the bags were red.
Oh,
And I thought that,
okay.
like, the perfume was called like Red Rabbit or something. Like, I didn't get
Yeah.
the Red Rabbit. And then when they did the reveal that she had Red Rabbit nails, I was like, I didn't catch it. I don't know if you
Oh, yeah,
knew.
yeah, I saw that because when they're retrieving her, we see a flashback of her running, and they catch her, and, like, as they're, like, scooping her back up to, like, recapture her, they're like nice nails or something like that. And then she ends up biting one of the friend's fingers off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think I'm just saying, like, before they showed the red rabbit nails, like, I don't
oh,
think I caught that she was there before.
oh yeah. No, I would assume not because at least like with like this is comparable to like Epstein,
Yeah.
obviously. So you would assume that he would just try to like shuffle in as many girls as possible, like an ever revolving door. So to have people come back, I thought that was a really weird choice. I mean,
Mhm.
sure, I guess. Slater believes that Frida's his best friend. That's what he told her at the end too. Like he's like, "You're actually like my best friend. I won't kill you. Like I'll let everyone else die in here, but I'm not
I'm
gonna kill
sorry.
you." Like what?
You can't force me to be your best friend, sir. That's not how this
Right.
works.
I'm like that's crazy. Like, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Their connection is so surface level, and then on top of that, with all the abuse and assault and stuff too. I don't know. I don't know how you got to like best friend from there.
He's a very lonely man. Okay.
Apparently. Later at a gala, Rich encounters a disoriented Slater who has forgotten about his wrongdoings. Frida, now married to Slater and running his company, has transformed her life and gained recognition for her achievements. Even having Rich removed from the event tied suspicion. I liked the ending. I mean, it felt kind of like to kill the monster, she had to become the monster kind of thing.
I took it different. Like,
Well, I also saw, like, the Midsummer ending of it kind of too, like, like, this is how he gets his comeuppance by, like,
mhm.
she doing the same to him.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would do the same thing. Like, because she keeps him alive. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you could have killed him, or you could just use him like he was using you.
Yeah.
And now you're rich. I am curious how the chain of events happened. Like, what was the fallout of this incident on the island? Like, there was probably some questions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah, I would like to see how they transitioned that,
mhm.
but, I mean, she obviously, yes-anded her way into this, apparently.
Good for her. I mean,
Yeah.
what do they say? The best revenge is success. Like,
Yeah, really.
take it, take it.
Blink Twice grapples with issues of memory loss and trauma, showing how it can impact the individual's sense of self. The women are compliant to the men's wishes until they remember the assaults and fight back to gain their autonomy. We see in Slater and Frida's interactions how Slater uses his power and wealth to abuse his relationships for his amusement, and how Frida uses his own tools against him to gain the upper hand, in a way destroying the monster by becoming the monster herself. Ultimately, the film's depiction of femininity and agency emphasize the challenges women face in a male-dominated environment and their fight for empowerment.
Are you ready to talk about our ratings?
Yeah.
What did you have it rated for suspense?
I had a 2. I think that the island portion of it and everything, just with like the staff coming up to her and being like Red Rabbit and everything, I'm like, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Yeah. So I think it like really built well to, getting to this final realization moment too, even like with the memories coming back kind of jagged at first and then like start getting like this huge realization as she's like hiding from him in the very same room
Mm-hmm.
um, over this whole chair situation that we should really talk about.
Oh, I know. You want to talk about the chair?
Oh yeah, yeah. He has this chair. And like the whole time he's trying to find the best place for the chair to go. And it's just this bright red chair. And he's having his assistant move it to different corners of the room. And he's like, it looks weird there. Even when he's like about to kill somebody, like I think Sarah or, attacking Frida, he's like, oh, yeah, the chair looks better there. Like,
Mm-hmm. I know. I think I texted you, or
yeah.
either I texted you or I had this thought. I'm like, this chair is symbolism for something, but I
Yeah.
do not know what it is.
I think just to show like the level of how much he really cares in this situation, like they're nothing to him. So like, of course, he's focused on this chair instead of the actual situation at hand.
Right. Like, out of everything that's happening, the thing you care about the most is this stupid chair
Yeah.
moving around the room, looking no different depending where it's at. I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And at one point he was like, let's just trash it or get rid of it or something. And Frida thinks that he's talking about her because she's hiding under the desk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, no, I think we just need to put a lamp next to it. Channing Tatum is very funny in certain lights. So it was weird to see him as the villain in this.
Yeah, I like that there was a little bit of a comedic element throughout this movie.
Yes. What did you have for suspense?
I had a 2 as well. I
Mhm.
was like 1 or 2, but I feel like for me, once it got to the point where the women are pretending to be under the influence of the perfume, and they had to like act that they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're having so much fun. This is
As they're
great."
having PTSD, like, oh,
Yeah. I think that really elevated the suspense for me because up until that point, I didn't find it really suspenseful. I found it like mysterious. I was wondering what's going on, the red rabbit, like
yeah.
what's going on this island. I didn't find that suspenseful, but once that part happens to the end of the movie and they're like fighting these men, I think that really elevated the suspense. So I gave it a 2.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. What did you have for atmosphere?
I gave it a 0.
Really? Okay.
Girl, a beautiful island. I'm like, what is scary about this? Not a thing.
Oh, okay. Maybe I need to like reconsider how I evaluate atmosphere, but I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's pretty. It's a pretty
yes.
time.
I mean, it's up to your interpretation. The way I view atmosphere is very much an echo chamber. Like, where are they? I mean, how it plays into the movie is important too. But I'm like, there is like no more beautiful place that I'd rather be than this island. So it's not
Right.
scary in the slightest. So I gave it a 0.
Aside from the snakes roving around a bit.
Ah, fuck it. I don't even care. Those aren't scary to me.
Right. So yeah, I gave it a 1 as well. I thought that, it's pretty, but, doesn't really add to the suspense at all. It's just an island. Pretty
Yeah.
place to be on vacation.
I was like, this is not scary. Like, what are we
Yes.
doing? This is great. I want to be here. I will say it was interesting because I know you like Midsummer a lot because a lot of the plot takes place during the daytime. And I
Yes.
feel like this was very similar. I mean, there were
Yeah.
the ending part, and all the trauma happens at night, but the majority of the movie is during the daytime, which I thought was interesting too.
Yeah, I like that aspect of it too, especially like once they start to figure it out and everything. Like especially the whole like getting the other girls to drink the snake venom. It gets really funny with how they're playing that up, like shot, shot, shot. Like,
Hmm.
and then just trying to like maintain like, yeah, happy island vibes and
Hmm.
and yeah, it's just rough. But yeah, the reason I gave it such a low score too, honestly, one, it's a place that you can vacation, so not a scary really atmosphere to be trapped in. Kind of a little repetitive with the whole like compound aspect of it. Like, of course,
Hmm.
it's a compound. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of like it's more resort than compound. Well, no, there's like rows of just rooms, so I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Resort slash compound, however you want to look at it.
yeah.
What did you rate the plot?
I gave it a 3. I thought it was very interesting with how they told the story and everything too. Like, I was still trying to like understand why she had this obsession with Slater, and I thought it was just like this deep crush, but
Hmm.
realized that like as it plays out the way it does, she probably just is like fixated on him because she sort of remembers that he has
Hmm.
something to do with all of her trauma.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting how it plays out kind of mysteriously at the beginning, and it still has like a couple of comedic elements to kind of lighten the mood for how dark it gets.
Hmm.
And yeah, I thought it was very interesting and unique in that way. How about you?
I gave it a 2. I really enjoyed this movie, but there's just some aspects of it that I just missed the mark for me. And I don't know if it's like an over explanation thing on my part, but why does the perfume only make them forget at night when they put it on in the morning? Like, how does it trigger just the night? They only forget that part, or are they, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because they seem to remember the daytime portions
yeah,
of their excursion.
right. And that's why I thought it was funny too that they completely omitted Jess for everybody else except for Frida.
Hmm.
But if you look at the fact that Frida had been to the island before and completely forgot it, I feel like Jess should have also been kind of deleted somehow as
Hmm.
well at that point. I will say it's not perfect, like the plot. Like I gave it a 3 because I think it's a very interesting concept. But there
Hmm.
are holes. Like, why would you agree to go with somebody to an island after one conversation? Or
Oh, so I could see that because he's like this big famous guy, and like if a celebrity is gonna like invite you to something, I could very much see someone agreeing to that in a
yeah,
heartbeat. Like I'm not surprised by that, personally, but like it's a bad idea. Don't do that. But I could see how
I could see how
someone
you'd
could do that.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the issues with like the timing and like how quickly they go. And also, like before she meets him, it's clear that they're like struggling to make rent and everything
Hmm.
too. So I'm like, so they're going to leave for an indefinite amount of time. They're going to get evicted. Like unless he paid their rent for them for the month or however long or something. But we don't know that. They barely had any time to pack.
Yeah, maybe they were just hoping, like, hey, maybe maybe we'll get some money on this trip. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. So there's like a couple of holes where I'm like, this doesn't make sense, but
Hmm. Yeah, so the
it's kind of
perfume.
fantastical in a way.
Yeah, I was trying to like suspend my disbelief. And I will say also initially, and I go back and forth on if this worked in its favor or didn't, but the editing was very disjointed, but it could have been purposeful just because of how they were remembering and misremembering. So I don't know how I feel about that still. But overall, it wasn't perfect. I really enjoyed this movie. I just think there were just some holes there that I was like, I'll just give it the two.
Yeah, I think they were like caught up in the whole making it like dreamlike because of the memories issue and stuff like too. Like even those shots with them at the gala feel so like unrealistic. Like because it's just like this giant white room with
Hmm.
like these red tables. It's just very stark and just weird angles. So I don't
Hmm.
know. It feels like the whole thing could be a dream, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of stylized in that way.
What did you have for the villain?
Oh, I gave it a three.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was so again, it's one of those situations where it's just guys, but they are literally controlling you and your
Yes.
mind, and then doing unspeakable things to you. That is mortifying. Like,
Yes.
so I like, yeah, the things they are doing, and it's like realistic. Like, this is things that could happen to people. So
Right.
the realism also jumps it up for me. So I gave them the three because I mean, these women are defenseless, and all the men are in on it.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was like,
true.
fuck that. So I give it a three.
That's true. I I gave it a 2. I don't know, I probably should reconsider it to be a 3 after what you said, because I was like, yeah, it's a dude and men are terrible. Like, basically, so, especially men in power, apparently.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that was kind of how I took it. I kind of completely disregarded the perfume thing because it wasn't as realistic.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's just like, we don't really have any, like, reasoning on how it works or why that happens only at night. So, I don't know,
Right.
it felt strange to me to include it as, like, his power or whatever.
I thought of it as like his tool. Like,
Yeah.
a serial killer uses a knife. Like that's part of him. So like he's using this as a tool in his arsenal. So that's kind of how I tied it to that. I don't
No,
know. I mean,
I
like
mean, I think your explanation was great, but I should probably bump it up to a 3, honestly.
you can if I
Yeah,
persuaded you to do so.
I think you persuaded me. This
All
should be
right.
a 3.
Woo! Yeah, it's
Woo!
like one of those things. Like it's just men, and at
Yeah.
the end, Frida and Sarah did overcome them. So it's not like that. But if you take away the perfume, I would have dropped it down. But because
Yeah.
they're able to control these women and erase their mind, like that's terrifying. Like they have no idea
Yes.
what's going on. So it's like a factor into it. So
Yeah, because if you completely erase the perfume situation, it's just like, yeah, these people are terrible. Like, 2, because, if you don't choose to be involved with them in any way, you can kind of avoid it. Like,
right. Exactly. The whole thing's avoidable. Like just don't go to this damn island.
right, right.
But she
Maybe
did,
don't
so
trust blatantly. Like,
right. So unfortunately I gotta you did the thing, so I have to that's the situation you're in, and that's what I have to do to work with here. So
yes.
did you give this movie your extra special point?
I did. I thought it was a fun watch just because the vibes alone and the dreamlike aspect of it. And, also the comedy helps too. Like Haley Joel Osment's in this as well.
Yeah.
He has a couple of fun one-liners. And just like the aha moments too, as like you unravel it with her. Like it's almost like you're forgetting as well.
Hmm.
How about you?
I did. I enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I had some issues with it, but overall, it was an enjoyable time. It was funny because I was like just running out of time watching movies this week, and I was like, okay, I'll watch like an hour the one night. I'll just finish it tomorrow. I ended up watching the whole thing. Like, I was very engrossed, and I was like, I want to know what's going on. So I found it very captivating that way. Of course, we have the theme of it all, which is, always an important conversation to have. So I think that is, good to add. I do think maybe it was a little heavy-handed, only because, like, Frida's like, believe women. I'm like, I know that's what we're going for. We didn't have to, like, say that. But whatever, besides the point.
Yeah. To give it a little bit of benefit of the doubt, too, I did hear that this was made previous to everything coming out about, like, Epstein Island.
It was before that?
They wrote it before.
Yeah, I don't really think that, personally, like, before or after doesn't matter to me, because, like, it's, it's still important either way.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's an important message. I'm just saying that it's not like she ripped it off of this, or at least that's what it's implied.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, very timely.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, good timing on her part, because it worked out. So, tallying the scores, you gave it a 10 overall, and I gave it an 8.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show and listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, giving us a 5-star rating is super helpful. We will always appreciate that. If you are watching the YouTube version, you can like and comment on this video and let us know what you'd like us to cover next.
You can find us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.